Mind you, we are talking about the 4 watches. Mastering the 4 watches. How to master the 4 watches. We are talking about mastering the 4 watches. So, Acts chapter 10 said there was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a certain of the band of called the Italian band, a devout man, one that feared God with all his house, which gave much alms to the people and prayed to God always. He saw, listen, verse 3, he saw in a vision evidently about the 9th hour of the day an angel of God coming in and saying unto him, Cornelius. And when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, What is it, Lord? And he said unto him, Thy prayers and thy alms are come up for a memorial to God. And now sent unto Joppa and called for one Simon, whose surname is Peter, apostle. He lodged with one Simon a tanner, whose house is by the seaside. He shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do. Look at this here. I'm talking about the hour here. Verses 10 of Acts chapter 10, he said he saw in a vision evidently about the 9th hour. The 9th hour in the Bible is 3 p.m. See, if you read it, you think it's just 9th hour. The 9th hour in the Bible, in the Hebrew, in the correct Hebrew language, is 3 p.m. So Cornelius set time and he was praying. When he set that time, how did Cornelius knew very well that the angel appeared at 9th hour? Because he was setting that time always and praying. The Bible says he prayed to God always. So he mastered the 9th hour. And that 9th hour is the 3 p.m. Look at that now, we want to see 3 p.m. 3 p.m. This hour is what we call the 12 p.m. When Jesus died on the cross, he died on the 9th hour. That is evening sacrifice, evening time. So that's why I usually tell you that the morning starts from 3 a.m. and the evening also starts from 3 a.m. according to biblical God's own word, not according to somebody trying to teach you something. We are talking about God's time here. You see? So how did Cornelius noted the time that it was 9th hour, that 3 p.m. that the evening sacrifice appeared to him? He was practicing the time. He was mastering. Those days, the Hebrew time of prayer is 3 p.m. So he has mastered it. You see, the difference between somebody that heard God, you will be there. If someone said, I have been hearing God, you'll be there saying, are you sure? I pray I have not heard God. But because you are not deliberate, you are not decisive, and you are not expectant. Not the voice of God is a rare. I want to keep on repeating this thing to you. If you have been watching us, if you like, you have to subscribe. You are watching us, subscribe. Make sure that you subscribe so that God will give you. Anytime we load the video, you'll be able to watch it. You'll be alerted, notified. You see, a lot of believers think that the things of God are for only the prophet, apostle, the teachers. No, all the gifts, everything that God has for you is for you. Need to get God yourself. We are in a wicked world. So Cornelius mastered the time. This is what God has been telling me, that show my people, teach them how to master the 4 watches. It's a mystery. I know that prophets have been teaching you how to watch. This thing, what I'm trying to show you here is different. There's watches. I'm talking about watches now. The watch. You have to set the watch before you can watch and see. If there's no watch, you can't see. See, I will come back to Acts chapter 10. Let me show you something again in Habakkuk chapter 2. Let me show you. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 1 said, I will stand upon my watch. Jesus taught us that you don't know what hour he will come. Let me show you. So there's watch and there's watching. There's watch and there's watching. So I want to show you in the book of Luke chapter 12, verses 30. It said, if he will come in the second watch or come in the third watch, find them so, blessed are their servants. So Jesus is saying that I can come in the first watch, I can come in the second watch, I can come in the third watch, I can come in the fourth watch. So the coming, it is the time that you have set, the watch you have set, that is going to empower God. For instance, if you go to God with pen and notebook, it is expectation. You are now telling God that you are expecting Him to speak to you. But a lot of people don't even go to God with pen and notebook. They just pray, speak in capital tongues and go. If you want to master certain thing in God, you knew. You see, Cornelius was able to master the 9th hour, which is 3 p.m., the hour of prayer. Jesus died 3 p.m. The 9th hour, he died 9th hour. Jesus was born in the midnight hour. In the morning, they were watching. So these are things that you have to master. If you want to check how God does his thing, check the activities of Christ. Check the activities of Christ. There are certain things you need to set a watch. The watch must be there. That is, when we are talking about watch, we are talking about prayer time. We are talking about time waiting on God, going to God on a particular time, that this is the time that I'm going to look after my God and talk to my God. That is what we call setting time, setting a watch. It's your watch, it's no one watch. So God will see those watches. When you begin to set the watch, Habakkuk put it this way. Habakkuk did not say, I will stand upon God's watch. No. He said, I will stand upon my watch. This is my watch. It's not God's watch. It is, I personally set the time. I've set my time to meet God. You remember Jacob? He set time. You remember Jesus? He set time. So when you begin to watch, like Cornelius did, what will happen is that you are going to meet God at the time that you have set, you have mastered. You see, you can only hear the voice of God if you master your watch. God speaks to you most often when you can see Him in video. You see, I keep on saying that there are two stations. We have audio station of God, then we have television, we have video stations of God. Anytime you see a picture being flashed, or you see a video, God revealing something to you in a trance, it is television station that He's open, cable station that He has opened to you. In the spirit realm, there are antennas. His angels are the ones that communicate to you through those antennas. They are portals. So it is the watch that opens the portal. When you set a watch, like this Cornelius, the Bible said, is a devout man. Acts chapter 10 verses 2, a devout man and one that feared God with all his house, which gave much alms to the people and prayed to God always. Look at this. His prayer to God always opens at the 9th hour, open the portal, 3 p.m., open the portal. Say 3 p.m., that evening sacrifice time, open that portal to Cornelius, that God, the angel now was despised from release from heaven concerning Cornelius. How was this portal open? It was open through giving and praying. So the portal was there. So when God wanted to talk to him, the portal was being raised, the angels will be released in that particular time. That is what we call, you have now mastered. Cornelius mastered the evening watch. He mastered the evening watch. So the angel ascended, came down exactly 3 p.m., which is the evening, the start of the evening watch. It is the end of the afternoon watch. And it is the end of the afternoon watch into the evening. Elijah also brought fire down by the evening sacrifice. Jesus died by the evening sacrifice, because the evening The evening watch is a type of watch that is sacrificial. It brings fire, it brings angels every time in the evening. There are two things that must the morning and evening, God don't play with that. That is the time. Evening time is the time that fire can come. It's the time of the angel and the angelic. So what I'm trying to tell you, I'm not saying that God cannot speak at any time. God can speak at any time. Afternoon, God spoke to can speak at any time. But these are watches that you have to watch. So how, number one, we must know that Cornelius has mastered that evening watch. That's why he was able to identify that the angel came 9th hour. He narrated the story that he was praying until 9th hour. He prayed from afternoon into the afternoon watch into the evening watch. That is another mystery. So when the angel came, look at the information. The angel came and said, your arms have been, and your giving has been become a memorial. Then he sent to him, he gave him correct thing where he will get his salvation. Sent to men to Joppa. Angel, not preacher, angel. See what this thing can do for you. If you are also being watched. Cornelius was not a prophet. He was a common person. Even he was not saved at that time. That's why God sent the angel to tell him that his salvation will come from Apostle Peter. Because that is the ministry being titled. You see, so he sent men to Joppa and called for one Simon whose surname is Peter. See this information. See this information. I just want you to pay attention. That angel appearing to you from heaven, telling you that everything you are doing is okay. And your prayers have now been answered. And when your prayer is answering them, you are going to look at this. So they gave him Peter's house and sent him Peter's real name. Then they showed Peter where Peter is lodging. GPS address, clear. Angels and an angel, and whose house is by the seaside. Show him location. He shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do. This is an angel bringing information, sending it to a man of God, Apostle Peter. You see, so look at this now. As angels coming to you now, telling you who to marry, telling you what to do with your family, what to do with your children. If whether some attacks are coming, I'll show you where the church prayed and God sent an angel. Peter, they wanted to kill Peter. God came with an angel, rescue Peter. Porters, you need to understand this, that as a Christian, you need to master these watches. If you master the watches, anytime you pray, you are going to hear the activities of God. You are going to discern. Remember, you can hear God in a realm of watching. You can see God in a realm of watching. When you begin to watch, I'm now trying to show you this mastering of this. And these four things that I'm trying to, the four watches I'm trying to tell you, you need to deliberate. If you are not deliberate, you won't know this time. If you are not decisive, you won't know. If you are not expectant, you will not. Even you pray. You have been praying. Sometimes you pray, then you see you are in a room there's heat, but you see some wind blowing like a cold. That's God, but you don't know. That's the appearance of an angel. You don't know. But if you begin to pray, you are going to see activities of this thing. Then one day you come, this is how it is. But you have started doing it, but you have not mastered it. So the mastering aspect of it is going to show you, like you become like Cornelius, that will know the time frame that the angels are going to appear to you. You'll be like Moses, that God appeared to him and said, I want to see you at the mountaintop in the morning watch. You'll be like Moses, that God appeared to him that I'm going to destroy the enemy in the morning watch, not in the midnight watch. And the morning watch is where I'm going to deal with the enemy, so don't be afraid. So what are these things that we are talking about? So then Jesus died on the cross in the midnight. Is that we call it the evening sacrifice is even called the hour of mercy, the hour that you can deal with the flesh, the hour that of fire you can bring fire down. But let's enter into another day. See, Acts chapter 16, verse 13. Acts chapter 16, verses 30. You see, Paul talking about his issue. He said, "At midnight, O king, I saw in the way a light from heaven, above brightness of the sun, shining round about me, them which journeyed with me, and them which journeyed with me." What the time did God appear to Paul? Midday. What is midday here? Afternoon watch. These watches are so crucial that I want you to understand. If you will master this, a time will come, you will not you will be so sensitive. You will know the time that God has set for you. Let me show you something about Jesus also. Midnight watch, I want to show you the fourth watch and what the fourth watch is all about. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Matthew chapter 14. This story is about Jesus when Jesus fed the 5,000 people. Matthew chapter 14 and verse 21. And they that had eaten were about 5,000 men, beside women and children. And straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to get into a ship and to go before him onto the other side, while he sent the multitude away. Verse 23, and when he had sent the multitude away, he went up into the mountain apart to pray. This was after Jesus has fed 5,000 people with food. He sent the disciple, told the disciple to they enter ship. Then he sent the multitude away. Then he went up into a mountain apart to pray. He was praying. He went from crusade to a prayer meeting on the mountain. When the evening was come, he was there alone. That means this was the time. He prayed until evening time. When the evening will come, so we call evening sacrifice here. Evening sacrifice. But the ship was in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. So this was Jesus that sent the people, the disciples, the apostles, and the disciples into a ship. They showed, telling them that you go and wait for me on the other side. And suddenly, when Jesus was praying in the mountain, look at this one. I want to show you a mystery here. Look at this one. Jesus was praying in the mountain, but the ship was now in the midst of the sea. It was the sea. In the middle of the sea, the ship was there, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. It was accident. Wind was blowing to kill them. And verse 25, that is this thing here. In the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went unto them walking on the sea. Jesus was on the mountain. He was not taking any distance. Then suddenly, when he saw the ship carrying the disciples, the apostles, into the land in trouble, that they didn't want to kill them, Jesus was walking on the sea. You remember, he was there until evening. He didn't go. He saw them in the spirit realm. He saw them clearly. That's why I'm saying that when you begin to watch, you saw them in the evening watch. That is 3 p.m. 3 p.m. He didn't go to them. Then the Bible said in verse 25, and in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went unto them, walking on the sea. See how Jesus waited to go to the disciples. They were in the chaos, but in the fourth watch. So the fourth watch is a mystery that you too, when you do the fourth watch well, you see yourself in the spirit doing certain things, cursing people, dealing with the enemy. God will pick you up and walk on water and deal with a particular issues. The interview you are going, you will be able to go ahead and do whatever you have to do. How? Jesus was on the mountain. So when he began to pray, God lifted him up and began to walk in the sea. See, he was watching on the mountain and seeing the disciple. He was watching the disciple activities of the disciple. He saw them in trouble. He was physical. Jesus we are talking about that time, he didn't die. He was physical. It's a physical body of him, but he was walking on the water. What realm is that? It's a realm of watching. He watched the disciple. They were in trouble. He was walking towards them. A lot of people will dream and say, "I've seen my man of God coming to me to deliver me." Those are things that we talk about. You see, the man of God watches in the night. Watches. Then when something is coming, he will be there to deliver you. But you also, you have, if you can set a watch particular, and begin to understand what I'm trying to teach you, you watch for your children. Your children can be in school. Something will be happening to them. God will show you. You'll be there. You will just be there. You know. God will open your ears. Something is happening to my child now. God will be ringing, mentioning his voice. Then you know that something is happening. So these are things that I'm talking to you about. How was Jesus able to walk on the water? It took watching. Because he cannot read there. When they saw him, they were in the fourth watch.